Hi, math students. It's Mr. Hatchgasm again, and today we're going to be talking about ratios. So we're going to learn how to divide a given quantity in a ratio. Now, what does a ratio mean? A ratio is just a way of comparing a number of quantities. So, for instance, here we have the ratio of geography students to math students in a college, which is 3 to 6. What that means is that for every 3 geography students, there are 6 maths students. And if we just simplify this, so the ratio of 3 to 6, right? 3 corresponding with geography, because geography came first, so that will correspond with the 3, and maths corresponding with the 6. So if we simplify this, we can divide both numbers by 3, as 3 goes into both of them. We will get a ratio of 1 to 3. So for every 1 geography student, there are 3 maths students. And this could be important in terms of hiring teachers. So a school might want to hire more, well, will definitely hire more maths teachers than they will geography because there are more maths students. Okay, now moving on. So I just clear my screen. So it says here, in 2019, in the 2019 and 20 season, Messi and Suarez scored a total of 40 goals in the Spanish league, Messi scoring 24 and Suarez scoring 16. What is the ratio of goals scored by Messi and Suarez? So again, we can use the information that's given to us in the question. So we know Messi scored 24 goals and Suarez scored 16. So we start with Messi first. So that's going to be a ratio of 24 to 16. And that would simplify to, we can divide both of them by 8. So that's going to be a ratio of 3 to 2. So at a close glance, we can see Messi scores more goals than Luis Suarez does. Or in other words, for every 2 goals Suarez scores, Messi will score 3. Okay, moving on. Right, so now we're going to learn how to divide a quantity in a given ratio. So if I just erase everything or just clear all drawings, there we go. So it says John and Namit share 48 sweets in a ratio of 3 to 1. How much do each of them get? So firstly, we need to look at this over here, this ratio of 3 to 1. So it says the Namit and John share 48 sweets in a ratio of 3 to 1. So we're going to have 4 parts in total. We have 3 parts for John and 1 part for Namit. So we can draw a bar model here. So this is our bar, and we can say this bar represents the 48 sweets, and we're going to split the bar into the 4 parts that we've circled here. And if we divide 48 into 4 parts, we can find that 1 part is equal to 12, because 48 divided by 4 will give us 12. So each part is equal to 12. And then we just need to see how many parts John gets and how many parts Namit gets. Well, that's in the question. So John gets the 3 parts that's here. So that's a total of 36. And Namit gets the 1 part, which is just 12. So as written here, John gets 3 times 12, or 3 lots of 12, and Namit gets 1 lot of 12, which gives us 12. And if you look closely here, we know we've done our calculation correctly, because 36 plus 12 will give us the amount that we started with. All right, let's move on to another question then. So here we have an investor buys a total of £120 worth of shares in Google and Apple in a ratio of 5 to 7. How much did he pay for the Google shares and the Apple shares? So again, we're starting with £120 and we're splitting that into a ratio of 5 to 7. So in total, we have 12 parts. So we need to draw 12 bars. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So £120 split into 12 parts will mean each part is equal to £10, because 12 or 120 divided by 12 will give us 10. So we got 10 by doing 120. So this amount here divided by the total parts we had, which is 5 plus 7, it's 12. So one part is equal to 10, and that's where we got this 10 from. So 12 parts will give us 120. And here we go. So how much did he pay for the Google shares and the Apple shares? Well, we have over here, if I get the pen out again, we started with Google. So Google's going to be 5. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. Draw a line here. So this is going to be for Google. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts for Apple. So in total, we can see that the investor paid £50 for the Google shares and £70 for the Apple shares. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. And likewise here, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And once again, 50 plus 70, that will give us a total of 120. So we know we've done our calculations in the right way. Right, moving on to the next example. So again, and if I just clear all the drawings, it says to increase his muscle mass, Kareem has to eat 2,000 calories split in a ratio of 3:1 between protein and carbohydrate. How many calories of protein and carbohydrates does Kareem need to eat? Okay, so again, we can say we have 4 parts in total. So that's going to mean 2,000, which is our total amount. So 2,000 divided into 4 parts. So 2,000 divided by 4 means we're going to have 500 for 1 part. And you can fill it. And the ratio is 3:1. So that's between proteins. So proteins will correspond to the 3, and carbohydrates, I'll just use a different color, will correspond to the 1. And if we just draw a line here, we can see that in a given day, if he has to eat 2,000 calories, 1,500 of them have to be proteins and 500 of them has to be carbs. So we can say 500 for carbs and 1,000, I'll just use a different color pen as I had done. So 1,500 for proteins and 500 for carbs or carbohydrates he needs to eat. Okay, moving on to another example. So this is a worded type of question and it might be a little bit challenging, but let's see what we have here. So I'm just going to get my pen. There we go. So it says C and Ralph share 700 pounds in a ratio of 2:3. Whoops, sorry. There we go. They share 700 pounds in a ratio of 2:3. So 700 pounds is split into a total of 5 parts. So I'm just going to draw the bar here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And apologies, they don't look even, but they should be equal parts. So that's 700 pounds. So 700 divided by 5 is going to give us 140 So 700 divided by 5 will give us 140. So each part is worth £140. And if I just fill these in, so it was a ratio of 2 to 3, and I'm just going to draw a line here. So Sia gets £280, and Ralph will get the remaining, which is going to be £420. So you can say 420, and here we have 280. And again, if we add these up, so £280 plus £420, that is equal to the amount we started with, which is 700. So it says Sia gave a quarter of her money or of her share to Karen. So Sia had £280 and she gave a quarter to Karen. So a quarter would be 280 divided by 4. So 280 divided by 4, because we want a quarter of this, will give us £70. So Sia gave a quarter, which is £70, to Karen. So we can just write here, Karen received, K for Karen, £70. And Ralph gave a fifth of his share to Karen. So that's going to be 1/5 is going to be 420 divided by 5 to work out 1/5. So 420 divided by 5 is going to be 84. So Karen received another £84. And then the question asks us, what proportion of the 700 did Karen receive? So in total, she's received £154. And the word proportion here just means fraction. So out of the 700, she received £154. So that's going to be 154 out of 700 as the proportion, and this will be our answer, which can be simplified further, but you can leave it like this as the question doesn't ask you to simplify it. However, it is good practice to simplify your answer where you can. Okay, so moving on. All right, so a different example now from what we've been doing so far. A slightly different example. I'm just going to clear all my drawings. So it says Max and Tasha share some money in the ratio of 2 to 3. Tasha gets £45. How much does Max get? So again, we have 5 parts in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts in total. However, this problem is slightly different to what we've been faced before, because we've been told that Tasha gets £45, whereas before we were told that the total amount was, a certain amount of money. So if I just quickly go back, if I can. So if we look here, it says an investor buys a total of £120, whereas in this example, there is no talk of the total. We just know Tasha received £45, and in turn, Tasha also had 3 parts. So if I just draw a line here, so we can say these 3 parts rather, will represent Tasha's share, and Tasha's share was £45. So with this knowledge in mind, we can now work out what 1 part is. So 3 parts is equal to £45. 1 part has to be 45 divided by 3, which will give us 15. So here we can see we have 15 here, 15 here, and 15 here. And 15 plus 15 plus 15 makes the 45 that Tasha received. So Max would have received 2 parts, and 2 parts is equal to £30. So Max's share will be 30. So Max received £30. So just be aware of the way the question is worded, and then try and break it up as you would using the bar models. Okay, moving on. So slightly different and a bit more harder scenario here. So again, I'm just going to clear all my drawings. So it says Nina and Simon share some money in the ratio of, sorry, you won't be able to see this, but it's a ratio of 2 to 5. So I will just clarify this with my pen. So the ratio is 2 to 5. In a ratio of 2 to 5, Simon gets £45 more than Nina. So this is really important to realize. He gets £45 more than Nina. How much money did Nina get? So again here, we need to draw how many parts each of them got, and I'm going to draw them underneath each other. So Simon received 5 parts, and remember, Simon corresponding with a 5, Nina corresponding with a 2, and Nina received 2 parts. So given that Simon received £45 more, we can see that the extra 3 parts represents the £45 because he got 3 parts more, so that is equal to the £45 more that he received, and the question tells us that. So again, if 3 parts is equal to 45, well, 1 part is going to be 15, so all of these parts is going to be equal to 15, and that would be the same for Nina. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 15, so that's going to be £75 for Simon, and Nina received £30. And the difference between the two should be 45. So this is a total of 30. This is a total of 75. And the difference is the £45 that we are told, because 75 take away 30 is equal to 45. And we're told Simon gets £45 more than Nina. All right, now moving on to the last question, which is going to be similar to this. And I'm just going to clear this screen. Once again, sorry, the questions are a bit too high up, so you might not see all of it, but it says Lola and Sam share some money in the ratio of 5 to 3. Lola gets £16 more than Sam. How much money do they each receive? So the ratio is 5 to 3. 5 parts for Lola, 3 parts for Sam, and Lola gets £16 more. So again, we can draw our bars. So Lola gets 5 parts, Sam gets 3 parts. So in total, Sam gets an extra, Lola gets an extra 2 parts. And that 2 parts is the extra money that Lola received. So it says Lola gets £16 more than Sam, so these 2 parts will be equal to £16. Therefore, 16 divided by 2 will give us the value for 1 part, which is going to be £8. So this is going to be 8, 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 and this is going to be 8. So in total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots of 8, which is equal to a total of £40. And then here we have a total of 3 lots of 8, which is £24. And we can see the difference between 40 and 24 is the 16 that's mentioned in the question. So just to wrap up, with ratios, you can get different types of questions. So it's really important you read what the question is actually stating. So we've done 3 different examples. And in this example, one person gets slightly more money than the other person. So please make sure you read the questions carefully and model your problem using the bar models that we've seen in today's lesson. I hope you found this useful, and thank you for watching. Have a good day.